This is the Pit Pass Podcast. I'm Mark Askelson, your co-host, alongside Kalvin Kesselberg, here for another episode from the speed shop, the garage.
Yep, the Kesselberg Speed Shop.
Yeah, another one, just kind of like a part two. You know, this isn't a week later. This is really just moments later we're recording this one. We just cracked another lukewarm beer and yeah, ready for another episode.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
so we figured
do.
we'd pack it into two episodes, break it up, and then, because otherwise it'd be one really long episode, because a lot has happened between seasons or episodes 6 and episodes 7 and 8. So
yeah,
we still got to we need at least 2 more episodes before the end of the calendar year, by the way. We're contractually obligated to do that.
We can do that. No, we got to please the studio people.
I wanted to get, my manager and my agent, I want 10 episodes in. So it's first year, so
I think we
could
do
that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to cover, and there's a lot coming up, and winter races and Dirt December. There's a lot of content.
I'd love to do like a live reaction of Dirt at the Dome. Like, I wish we could do that. Like if
be there.
Well, go live as it's going on.
Yeah.
As we're watching the race.
Yeah.
And just, have a video feed. We don't have that kind of technology.
Anyone who's been around me, if I, when I'm watching races, that wouldn't be good, because I'd be mid-sentence and I'd be screaming, some profanities at someone that ran someone else off the track. And yeah, it'd make for good content.
I think it would. I think it'd be fun.
Part of my problem, when we go to St. Louis, it's a vacation for me, right?
Yeah.
We sponsor the event. Performance Auto sponsors the event now, and kind of trying to buy some bigger packages and maybe get our name out there a little bit more. And so it's maybe a little bit of a business trip, but at the end of the day, I am a huge race fan, and that is the mecca of dirt track racing. And the problem down there, man, they don't sell pounders. They sell the big tall bullet beers.
Oh,
and they are ice cold. And yeah, I don't know what happens. I just keep buying them and they keep disappearing.
How do you afford that? Because I heard how expensive they are.
Yeah, you just got to go for it.
You just got to.
I mean, you're on vacation. You figure that out when you get back, and
you put that in the company card.
Yeah, this is a business expense.
Yes. And that now you're just gonna have to bring me with you this year as to have the face of Pit Pass Podcast.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Auto, you can fly me down there, right?
My problem last year, and Jake can attest to this. So they got a suite or whatever, right?
Yep.
So we're up in the suite and we're drinking, and the beers are never ending. They just keep bringing them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we get to the end of the night, and I am highly irritated because I have drank myself sober, quote unquote. Yeah, not good. I was in fact not sober, and in fact went out drinking like I was sober. Yeah, not good. Hopefully anyone that saw me does not remember that, because she was bad. But anyway, that's why we do it. It's the Dome, baby. But we'll get into that later. We can cover that later.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be for a future episode, because we'll touch on Dirt. Yeah, because we have a lot we could talk about that event, and we've already talked a lot on it, so we don't need to beat a dead horse.
No, we do have a lot of events that have happened though that we can.
Yeah, so a couple big events. We'll start with the Jamestown Stampede. We talked about it briefly, the fact that it happened in the last episode. But you went out there trying your hardest to win out there, or at least finish a race.
Yeah, finish.
That was your goal, right?
That's usually my goal there.
Which you did, I think, right? Both nights?
Yep. So, they had some weather. So usually the Stampede is a Friday night, Saturday night type deal.
Yep.
This year they had some weather. They had some rain. They did end up running Saturday night. They ran their heat races and B mains and stuff. And then Sunday, they ended up running the show kind of during the day. They started at 2:00. And from their point of view, they did have a rain date, which would have been last weekend. As far as being a track, I gotta be honest, I think I would have done what they did.
I do like when you have so many classes and so many cars,
yes. And Sunday, okay, Saturday might be 50-50, but Sunday I know I can get it in.
Yep.
Because you never know what the weather's going to do in 2 weeks. It's the
Yep.
upper Midwest here. It could be snowing. We could have 3 feet of snow. And
If you don't like the weather, just wait till tomorrow.
yeah,
Right? I mean,
yeah, exactly. So, they ended up running it. Ended up running a day show, which historically day shows maybe don't turn out the best. Very challenging there. You have a lot of factors. You have the sun, which is the biggest one. Wind, usually it's windier, so it's hard to keep water in a track. And but yeah, so Saturday night, they had battled rain all day, and it was muddy, and they didn't get to open the pits till late, so everyone was kind of behind the 8 ball there. And track was muddy, track was rough. It was what it was.
Yep.
Nothing. They could have bladed it, but at that point too, how late do you want to keep going?
Yep.
Because darn well you can't please everyone.
Yep.
Someone's gonna be upset that it was rough, but then someone's gonna be upset that you took an hour to blade the track, and then someone's gonna be upset that it went too long. So, at that point, you just try to get it done and kind of move on.
Yep.
So ran the heats, ran the B mains, and then Sunday we raced during the day. In day races, usually they're really dry. So they had stayed up all night. They bladed it, and they worked their butts off on that track. Sheep's footed it all night, prepped it. Our feature, we were the 5th race out. So we had bombers, their bomber class out there, and then we had sport mods, which sport mods was a fantastic race. That was glass slick from top to bottom. Ryan Rested ended up winning it. Tons of racing, moving around, and good battle for the lead, and it was just it was a good race.
Yeah.
And I was really happy for Ryan to get that one done. He's never won a Stampede, I don't believe. So that was good. He works his tail off for that. So that was fun. Slingshots, those kids, man, they put on a good show. them kids get into it, and that class, they're gaining a bunch of traction.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so like a slingshot, I guess if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like a wing cart with like a modified body almost on it, kind of
they're weird looking thing. It was like a tiny big block modified.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit before, but because they had them in Mandan.
Yep. Twin cylinder. They run on methanol. But yeah, cool class to watch. So they had some races, and then we got out there, and unfortunately our race we got 1 lane rubber. Yeah. It kind of burned in, and really it was just a battle of attrition at that point. Start on the outside row, you went forward. Start on the inside row, you went backwards. But
I watched the highlights from that, and shout out to Mason Aaron, by the way, because it's
such a nice.
I'm gonna buy him a tripod though, but other than that, no. I'm surprised. I'm gonna sponsor him one, I think, but no. I kind of love it's kind of like home video, and it's like just like I love that watching a home video race. But the fact that he's there and taking videos so I can watch the highlights later. I couldn't be there, and so I watched that. And you had a chance.
Maybe
you had a chance to win at one point. There was a restart. I forget who you were battling with, but you restarted 3rd or 4th, but you got that high lane on the restart, and I think you were going to make it pass for 2nd. You kind of cut down to the inside. You were going to the inside of the back straight away, and you would have had 2nd.
Yeah.
And I think if you would have had 2nd, I think you could have gotten 1st.
Yep.
But then a caution came out.
Yeah,
caution came back and brought it back.
Yeah, we had a really good car.
Yeah.
Like our car's been really good all year, but it was a good. I felt really good about it.
But when it's tough to pass, when you get
can't
rubber,
move. The thing with rubber. So like if people don't know what a track does when rubber's up, I guess.
Please explain.
I'm sure everyone does, but so you'll watch a race, right? And everyone starts kind of running the same line, like one line, and it's always noticeable because it'll always be black.
Yep.
Like it'll start cleaning off, and then you'll maybe start hearing some tire squeaks, and then before you know it, everyone's in it.
Yep.
And if you're watching a race and it's slick, and cars start like 3-wheeling, like towards the end, or they're starting to get faster.
Yep.
Usually it doesn't mean they found anything. Usually it means the track rubbered up.
Yep.
So yeah, we had kind of 1 lane rubber, which it is what it is. There's nothing really that you can do. It's not on the track. It was just weather conditions and all, and everyone that day races or that has day race, you know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So you just plan for it.
The only thing you can do is maybe explain what you can do on rubber if you want to make a pass. You could short track it and probably get underneath them, push them out of the way, or you can slide and not really.
Tough.
depends on where the rubber is, right? If the rubber's on top, you can maybe slide job it.
Unfortunately, what I found, and maybe that's why I suck on rubber, but really the only way that you can pass is you got to run someone over.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of just the nature of the beast,
Yep.
you know, and you can't be mad at that person. It's just rubber racing.
Yep.
This is what it is. You look at asphalt racing, they do the same thing. It's the bump and run, the Dale Earnhardt thing, you know. You're not trying to wreck them. You're just trying to rattle their cage, right?
Yeah.
You know, we got moved out of the rubber too, so
Yep.
I can't really say anything, you know, but
from watching the clips, the racing wasn't
bad.
Mostly because there was a lot of cautions.
Yeah.
And so that kind of kept everyone close for the most part. If it would have stretched out, maybe it wouldn't have been great.
The problem with rubber is, and it's slick everywhere, right? And it was dry. So like, that's like driving on black ice. You know, the problem is you get in the rubber, like, so you're in the rubber, so you're really in the throttle, you're really driving it hard. And then you get out of the rubber, well, you still kind of drive it that way because you're used to it. Well, then you just spin out, you know, or whatever. So the best thing they did for our race, and I was really glad to see it, they started us single file.
Yeah.
Which I was happy for it because then, you know, at least that way you kind of have a chance to stay where you are. You know, the crappy thing with racing in rubber is usually one line, you know, the outside lane or the inside lane is going to be in the rubber. Mm-hmm. You know, so
if you restart on a high lane that's not the rubber lane or whatever,
you're going backwards.
Yeah.
Like one restart, like right away, I think I started 6th, you know, and I got up to like 2nd or 3rd right away.
Yep.
Had a restart, started on the inside, fell back to like 8th.
Yep.
You know, and then you're just hoping for another caution, start on the outside, get back up there, you know, so kind of just a battle of attrition. And tires were definitely delaminating.
Yep.
So if people don't know what delaminating is, it's basically where, you know, like your tire is built, like it's built by hand and it's built by layers. Well, the tread is a layer. The tread is like a cap. Well, the problem, you know, a tire will delaminate if the cap isn't sealed right, which Hoosier has had some problems with that. Or you'll just like burn up the glue or whatever, and then the tire tread actually comes off. So the tire will still hold air. But basically it's smooth. All the tread will fall off. So there was some of them, you know, I was following a car and basically I was catching pads of his tire in my lap.
Really?
Pads of tread.
Wow.
And my tire, you know, it's not an excuse. Like I was running 3rd. I probably should have had 3rd. Going down the backstretch, coming to the checkered, my right rear started blowing apart and it shook the car. It was like you had a wheel weight fall off.
Yep.
I mean, just shook the car terrible and slid me, you know, I couldn't slow the car down because the car was trying to shake and go elsewhere, you know, and got me out of the rubber and I was slick and then I got passed, you know, but, so we ended up finishing 4th, you know, which in my book, going to the Stampede, because I don't have a good track record of finishing, you know, we finished the race. So that's a win. I didn't have to fix anything really. Just put a new tire on and go for it. So,
and you know, you talk about dealing with the rubber and it's hard for for a track to kind of come back from that. Like you have to rework it completely, and maybe they did after that, or you know, you're going to fight it all night anyways, probably at that point with that many cars. I think sometimes when you have a special like that, or you're dealing with weather and other things the first nights, I feel like it's more important that you get the show in versus how great of a show it is.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Especially
Some people
when
are just
people
there
traveling.
People are there to be there, right? And they'd rather not have to come back 2 weeks later.
Yep.
But sometimes it's just important to get the show in. Some nights you just
not perfect.
You know, you just deal with it and
it was a risk, you know, and I like I said, I totally understand why they picked to run the Sunday thing, you know. If I was in the same shoes, I mean, you got to look at how much money you have tied up into marketing and you know, and how much you're going to maybe lose having a second night, you know, and maybe you've already bought food.
Yep.
Well, you can't really like some of the stuff like buns and all that. I mean, you buy buns 2 weeks later, they're not going to be good.
Yep.
So now you got to rebuy buns and stuff like that. So, you know, from their point of view, if you really step back and look at it, they made the right choice.
Oh yeah.
You know,
and again, with that many cars that they had and that many classes, because there's a lot of classes.
Oh, there's 9.
Like, I love the idea. Have the heats the one night, features the next, and That's a really I really like that idea. So
Yeah.
when you have that many cars, so
And you go to the Stampede, like that is like the year end, like everyone gets together, one last time for the winter, So you're not. I'm gonna say like you're not really there for the racing, like you're there for all the festivities after. Yeah.
It's experience, right? It's the experience. All right, so you come out of Jamestown, the Stampede, with a top 5 finish. But you're not done yet, which I was surprised to find out. I'm like, I messaged you up. I'm like, hey, we should record a podcast. And you're like, I'm going to Iowa. And I'm like, Iowa? The hell's in Iowa?
Yeah.
Some great racetracks down in Iowa. So I was pretty excited to find out that you were going to Iowa. One, because it's kind of a measuring stick, right? Because those guys are really good down there.
Real deal down
like
there.
those stock car drivers are some of the best. And so you headed down to Clay County Fair Speedway.
Yep.
In
Spencer, Iowa.
Spencer, Iowa. What part of the state is that?
Northeast.
Northeast. Okay.
So it's just south of Worthington. Like it was just kind of right on the other side of the border.
Okay.
But yeah, nice road trip. I
Yep.
mean, it was kind of a fun road trip, and we made it. So Haley and I are getting married at the end of the month.
Yep.
So we made it, like that was my bachelor party. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to like go party anywhere. I wanted to go racing. I wanted to go somewhere and like not worry about a parts trailer. Just be a racer. Just go enjoy it. So, my buddies or whatever, they were all good with it, and so we did that, and we had a blast down there. I don't know if we survived Iowa or if Iowa survived us. I haven't figured that out yet.
So what was the special? What was it? Did it have a name or what was the?
Yeah, so it was the Iowa Fall Nationals.
Okay.
And it was like 1,000 to win on Friday, and then like 2,000 to win on Saturday.
Okay. And how long of a drive is that?
It was like 5.5 hours.
Oh, that's not so bad.
No, it's not bad.
I've done that's 5 hours to Mankato for me for work. So that's
it
that's
wasn't
nothing.
bad.
That's a Tuesday for me.
No, it was very, like last year we went to Jefferson, South Dakota.
Yep.
It was actually like about the same drive.
Yep.
Like I don't know how that worked out, but it was close.
Pretty drive too, I'm sure.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was nice. We went through this town. I might vacation there, honestly. It was Okoboji.
Oh yeah.
Okoboji,
Like
Iowa.
Okoboji? Yeah.
That town is cool looking. Like that, I bet you 4th of July weekend.
Yep.
That place is the place to be.
Yeah, that is a very popular spot in Iowa.
Very
in fact.
nice town.
Big sunfish in that lake, too.
Is there?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Like we're driving and there's like neighborhoods with harbors like going into the neighborhood.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
We'll have to do that vacation to Lake Okoboji. So how did you do? I know you. Sounds like you learned a lot, especially going to a track you've never seen before. And we're watching it here in the background here in your garage here. The track. It looks very similar to Norman County Raceway.
It's almost copy paste Ada.
It's the closest I've ever seen a track look to Ada.
Yeah,
Ada's pretty unique. So.
Drove the same, gears were the same, setup darn near identical. The only thing there, I've never really raced on a cushion.
Yep.
And that place had a cushion. It was like a curb. Like you could run into it basically straight on, and like that thing would turn you.
Okay.
So it was kind of fun there. Copy paste Norman County Raceway, like
different
almost
dirt,
easy. Different dirt. It was more of a clay, and Friday night, maybe struggled with some of the track prep a little bit, maybe. I think the humidity kind of messed with them a little bit because the water really came up.
Well, you won your heat, so track was perfect for your heat.
Yep, it was good. And we had some heavy hitters in that heat too. Like Kelly Shryock and Jim Horsch, and
you can put that on your resume. Beat Kelly Shryock in the heat once.
And then the feature, I started 4th and just really battled with that cushion. Like that is just a different driving style that I'm not used to at all. Mm-hmm. And so I jumped the cushion a couple times and got past and got slid a couple times, and just kind of one of them learning experiences, maybe I learned some stuff there that I'm going to try in Ada.
Okay.
Like I said, almost copy paste, and some of the stuff I did down there to fix my car, I think would really help in Ada. So I just kind of put that one in the memory bank, and I'm going to hang on to that one for next year. And
okay.
Yeah, like I'm actually excited to go back. Like I wish Ada was still in shape so I could go like test on it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, there's some things there. We learned some other things. Like, if you ever talk to anyone about Iowa, and like you've heard, and you've heard it, I'm sure from the soybean side.
Yep.
Corn sweat.
Yeah.
Corn sweat is a thing.
And I'm surprised it is because of the time of year, because it's
everything's kind of dead.
Yeah.
But it was very humid down there, and this sounds so dumb, but I watch like density altitude.
Yep.
So I'm always keeping an eye on that, and I keep good notes of that. So every night, like when I race, I write down the weather, the density altitude, or like the air density and altitude.
Okay.
I've got an app on my phone, and then I measure like barometric pressure, dew point, like what time the sun goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I keep track of all that stuff because all that affects a racetrack. So if you have a high dew point, the moisture is going to come out, right?
Yep.
The sun goes down, the moisture comes out. Well, the moisture usually comes out of the racetrack, and especially get to this time of year, really early in the year and really late in the year, usually whatever moisture they put into the racetrack comes out.
Yeah, we see that a lot. Especially, we saw a lot in Fargo over the years.
Yep.
It seems like it's not so much the beginning of the year or the middle of the year.
No.
But the sun is up for so long. It's it's barely dark by the end of the night.
Yeah, usually we're pretty dry.
But it's always around when the Outlaws would come to Fargo, around that August time frame. They put a lot of moisture in.
Yep.
It comes
all
out, and
comes
you
out.
cannot get it. You can't get it out.
Nope.
It's just theirs. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was one big learning curve, and all three of us. So Brody Carlsrud, Andrew Jokum, and I were down there, and all three of us, like during practice, we're all running hot. I mean, my car, it could be 100 degrees here, like around home,
Mm-hmm.
and my car runs 180. Just no matter what, 180 degrees. That's what it's gonna be. I don't ever clean my radiator anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't run hot. I never have any heating issues. Well, we get down there and just running practice by ourselves. I mean, we're coming in, we're 230, 240. That's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, anything like around that 220 to 230 range, you start to kind of worry about it. 240 is like, holy crap, like something's going on.
Yep.
And yeah, we're all coming in, we're 230, 240. So we're drilling holes in the nose and blowing out the radiator, and we're checking all that. And I just, for giggles, I pulled up my app, and usually our density altitude when we're racing here, usually we're at like 1,900 to like 2,200 feet.
Mm-hmm.
We were at 3,500 feet there on Thursday, 3,900 feet on Friday, and then like 4,000 feet on Saturday.
Okay.
So the air was so dense, so we all had to make carburetor jetting adjustments, which helped a little bit. It wasn't like the cure-all, but it definitely brought it down a couple degrees.
So how does that help with your temperature, right? Is just the fuel or air mixture makes it run cooler or what?
So when the air is dense
Yep.
like that, so that app will tell you how dense the air is. It's not giving you your elevation. It's telling you how dense the air is, and it's giving you like the density altitude is like, this is what the air would be like if you're at 3,400 feet.
4,000 feet.
Yeah. Yep. So when that happens, and everyone, and it's backwards from what you think. The denser your air, if it's really hot and muggy out, everyone thinks like, oh, I need to pour more fuel to it and help it cool it down. No, it actually runs hotter. You lean it out. So when it's really cool and crisp outside, then you want to pour the fuel to it because there's more air
coming in.
particles.
Yeah.
Yep. So your air has more room for fuel. Where when it's really hot and dense and muggy, you have water in the air. Well, like each air particle is taken up by water, right?
Yeah.
So it can't accept the fuel that you're pouring to it. So that's when, like, if you really start paying attention, you'll start seeing like headers start glowing red.
Mm-hmm.
Cars will, like, when they're running, like mine, I can fire it up to like let it warm up for the night, and I know when it's going to be off or on because the idle, when it's dialed in, when it's really running good, and you have your mixture right, when it's idling, it's really sharp and crisp. I mean, it's like it's really really crisp, and you can kind of gas it, and you can tell. Where I've been at tracks too when it's really muggy, and I know that I need to lean it out, I'll let it run, and it'll be like a sloppy idle, like a rolling, ugly, you know, you can just tell it just sounds fat. And so that was one adjustment that we all had to make.
I used to have so in high school and in college, I had a Fox Body Mustang, an 86 Mustang, and that was carbureted. And I had probably a little bigger carb on it than maybe it needed.
Yep.
A bigger, 4-barrel carb on it. Probably could have been fine with a 2-barrel. But I always loved it when it was cool because that's just the way, it was a Holly and you had to be they were pretty fussy.
Yeah.
But when it was cool, you get that perfect temperature. Like tonight, like where we're at right now, like that thing would run. I bet you it would be 30, 40 horsepower difference.
Yep.
Like it just was, that's kind of what it was, but it would get 90 degrees in. But like, when you started that car up, like today's a good day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. That tone, that sound, like, oh yeah, I'm going to drag race someone today.
Especially like, and I've started, so like my Uncle Tyler is like big into carburetors, and he loves that stuff. Like he's really like, he's really like old school like that. Like he's kind of like maybe born in the wrong time, like because he loves that stuff. And and he started kind of preaching to me. He's like, you need to watch this stuff. Like you need to adjust for this. You need to adjust for this. And for years I was just like, yeah. It doesn't matter. Well, then like, we were talking, and finally it just clicked. Like what he was saying finally made sense. So then I started kind of researching it and looking into it and kind of learning all that. And then I started adjusting with it. And I'm like, holy crap, like this is huge. I mean, and you really notice it on nights when it's slick and you really got to roll into it. If that thing's dialed in right, it's so smooth and crisp, and you have the power.
Yep.
And even when it's heavy, like, you maybe don't notice it as much because you're just wide open. But when you need to really like back out of it and just roll into the throttle and have power and be smooth.
Yep.
Having that adjustment, that's a big deal. I think a lot of people overlook that.
Yep.
And that's one thing I've really tried focusing on and try to keep good notes of it. And it's really like, especially this year is when I really played with it, and it paid off. So
were you able to get it to run kind of back to a more cooler temp, or did you still struggle with the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, some of the things that we did was we drilled holes in the nose, which usually I don't. I try not to because then you just get a bunch of dirt in there. But we did that, so that helped. And then we actually drilled holes in the backside of our fan shroud, and that helped a lot. Okay. And then I run like a.
So on the backside of it, so then you're allowing air to kind of pass through, or what?
Yep.
Or suck it through?
So you're not. You're just trying to get air to escape the radiator.
Yeah, escape it, yeah.
So you have a good fan shroud where like the fan's like half in, half out, and I run that Gorsuch fan, and that thing pulls air. Well, you're trying to suck air around a hole that's just the size of your fan. Well, the thing with drilling holes in the backside, you don't care how it gets out.
Just wanted to get out.
The fan still has the same velocity.
Okay.
So you drill all them holes so you have more places for the heat to escape. And that helped. I mean, I probably only drilled 4, 1-inch holes or whatever. But that, like, I think that did help. And then I also run a kind of a guard, like an aluminum plate over the top of my fan. And then I kind of bend it down so the fan doesn't throw dirt into the air cleaner.
Yep.
I took that off the second night, and that helped a lot too. So just giving more room for that heat to escape, I think that was a big learning curve. But
now you're going to regret all that come next year when you put all these things that you don't normally need, or
no? I'll probably put it back until I have an issue.
Okay.
I just kind of keep that like in the memory bank.
Now you have a note for next year.
Yep. If you ever go somewhere and and you look at your density, altitude, and all that, and you're like, holy, like we're gonna have some heating issues. But ended up. So Saturday, we kind of had the whole day to kill. So I ended up pulling the radiator out and cleaning that.
And probably a hangover to fix too, but
yeah, that was rough.
You're young enough.
I'll be honest, that was rough for a while. Especially when you can't like just keep one going.
Yeah.
Like my buddies, like they were just like, well, we're gonna have a beer to try to kill the hangover. Like you can't really do that.
Can't do it as a racer. Yeah.
So I just decided like the only way I'm gonna get over this is just to keep doing stuff.
Yep.
Not sit around and be miserable. But so I ended up cleaning the radiator, which best way to do that, and people can fight me until they whatever, I'll die on this hill, right? Like you just take it out, you make sure you have a clean surface, and you just drop the radiator from like 4 or 5 inches. You just drop it.
Really?
Yeah, and it knocks all the dirt out.
You don't worry about breaking anything or bending anything?
If you have a rock, well, and then I'll get to that.
Okay.
We had a scare. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful about it because like it's pretty fragile. But you just drop it, and you drop it a couple times. You move to a clean area. Like there's no rocks, there's no cracks. Nothing sticking up that's gonna poke a hole in the radiator. But so like you kind of do that. Like I never cleaned mine out with water because a radiator with all them fins, you'll never get all the water out. Well, then what happens then is you get all this dust and it gets stuck in the water and you make mud and you're stuck, you're plugged back up. So I try not to use water. So we just blew it out really good. I dropped it, swept, dropped it. Well, and the only good place I had, here was our scare. The only good place I had to clean out the radiator was on the ramp of my trailer.
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a rivet sticking out.
Uh-huh.
And I dropped it and I totally bent a tube. Yeah, like dented it. Yeah. Like, holy crap, what am I going to do now? Like, this is not good. So here my buddy Sam and I, we got some soap. So we made like our own soapy water, like took a bottle and poked holes in the top and like shook it up and like sprayed this radiator with this soapy water. Put the radiator cap back on, and we're both using our hands to try to plug up the ports and then pressurize it. Did not work good, but there was no air that came out. So I'm like, well, we got some pressure in it. Like if it's gonna leak, I guess it would have bubbled by now.
Yeah.
So we just put her in, and it all worked out. But ended up putting a new water pump belt on. Just because you're there, you already have the fan off. You might as well put a new belt on. So I did that just to kind of cover my tracks there. Cleaned out the radiator, dumped new water back in, and and I mean the Saturday night it was way cooler. It was much cooler, and the track wasn't as like hammered down, so you weren't really working the motor as hard. So I only ran 210 degrees.
Okay.
So kind of maybe a accumulation of everything that we did, maybe helped a little bit. It's all 5 degrees here, 2 degrees there, whatever, but.
In the end, you ran top 5 both nights, right? Or close?
I got 10th the second.
Oh, second night, yeah. You moved up 5 spots or something, right?
Yeah, so, I drew terrible. So we drew poker chips for the start, and rookie move there. I grabbed the first one on the top. That was just, you got to dig around in that.
That's kind of being cocky. Like, I know,
I'm just going to grab the
whatever.
one.
Yeah.
Just going to grab the one.
Yeah.
No, didn't. Grabbed the 73 instead. I left the one for the next guy. I was being nice. Norwegian in me,
I miss the days of, I don't remember if I mentioned this last time, but like matchbooks. So back when my parents were into racing and stuff like that, or even my brothers back before, because matchbooks, everyone smoked, and it was like you had matchbooks ever. So you'd grab matchbooks and you'd flip it open and the number was on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's an old school thing. You don't see that anymore, right? Yeah, so I don't know. I miss those days. But it's the same concept as pulling a poker chip, but yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll have to remember that for buys and battles.
Yeah, we'll do the old school matchbooks.
Cool. Yeah. So drew terrible. So like right there, your nights, like you're already digging out of a hole.
Yep.
And so our heat race, it was kind of, around the cushion again. And I'd made some changes that really helped with that. So I had a good car, and I think I maybe could have squeaked out like a top 3 or top 4 in our heat race, but I got 6th. So didn't redraw very well. I started 15th. Right away, everyone goes to the cushion. I was running the ditch, running the bottom, like as far to the bottom as you could get, and I was picking cars off. And I think at one point I got up to like 8th, 8th or 9th, and had a couple cautions, and I got scored maybe farther back than I should have, I feel, but maybe that's just the racer in me.
Yep.
It happens.
Yeah.
So get scored back and we get racing again, and I'm picking cars off and I'm kind of moving forward, and I hit a tractor tire as hard as I've ever hit one before in my life. So they had, like they weren't like our tractor tires where like you can hit them and move them. Like if there's some traction there, you can move them.
Yep.
They had 55-gallon drums with the top cut off, and they had them full of gravel.
Oh, so they were ready. They knew that trick.
Stacked with like heavy tractor tires. So like if you hit the tractor tire, like you're bouncing off it. It ain't moving. I hit it so hard, I must have bent the throttle shaft on my carb, because like then after that, like we had a caution and I couldn't slow the car down. I mean, this thing's idling. I'd bump it out of gear and it'd idle up to like 4,000 RPM.
Oh.
Like just idling there. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like pulling on my throttle pedal, trying to like bend it back and get it to idle down. And I couldn't. So, I'm trying to run the bottom and you got to be really smooth if you're going to be good on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would go in there on the brakes as hard as I could, but this thing's like still trying to take off. And so I couldn't keep it on the bottom. So I'd pass cars and then I'd miss my mark and then I'd get passed. And then I'd pick them back off and get going again. But, kind of just the way it goes. But, we came back, squeaked out top 10. So I can't say that I finished in the top 5 every night like I did before I went down there. But
to be fair, so it's a pretty good measuring stick you head down there to Iowa.
Yeah.
When you're racing against Elijah Zievenbergen or whatever, and Kelly Shyrock and a lot of other guys.
Jim Horsch, Chance Hollins, and Jake Masters. I mean, there was many good
Those
cars.
are who's in the world of stock car. And,
Yes.
those guys come up here, or some of them do for, like, the mod tour and stuff like
they
that.
struggle. But
Sometimes they do good.
Sometimes they do.
Well.
Yeah.
But so it's kind of nice to go down there. I told you don't come back without a trophy, or don't come back at all, right? But
won a heat race. We can wear that one.
So that counts.
Yep.
Did they take a photo at least or something?
No, they didn't do nothing.
They didn't get nothing for it. Or did you get a sticker?
No.
This isn't Wazota. You don't get a sticker for a heat race win.
Round home, we get a sticker.
All right. Oh, around home you get a sticker. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I must not have been cool enough to get a sticker.
That's all right. You can just write in permanent marker. I won a heat race over Kelly Shyrock.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I can wear that one forever. So that was kind of cool. Really fun. So one of the cool things about racing is it brings you to people that you probably wouldn't normally meet, but like they're a bunch of really nice people. So I finally got to meet Austin Brands.
Okay.
So him and I, like we've texted and like, and I've never met this guy. And just a cool dude, he's given me advice, I've maybe given him some ideas. So it's cool. And we get down there and he kind of got us down there. We weren't gonna go. We were kind of like going to back out, and he put us all 3 in a group chat and started talking some mad trash.
There you go. That'll do it.
But it didn't work. We were going to go down there and shut him up, but it didn't work, and Austin is such a nice guy. Like him and his family, like they were so much fun to hang out with, and his dad actually ended up winning the Friday night show.
Nice.
This is going to be the kicker. This is for all my Wissota street stock friends that say they can't afford a stock car, right?
Yeah.
Right, this is going to be a big like dagger. So that car is an 03 RBR chassis. That's his own chassis. He built that car in 03, won Super Nationals with it, and he keeps racing it.
Don't fix it, ain't broke, right?
He was fast. And like Saturday, I think he was leading his heat and ended up blowing up. So his motor broke or whatever. But he won Friday night pretty handily. I mean, so it just goes to show you don't need the newest, fanciest stuff all the time. You can always outwork people.
Yeah.
So just for all my Wissota street stock friends out there.
Come to the dark side, buy a stock car.
Yep.
There's maybe a few out there this year. Who knows? We need a few more for up here. So if you guys are racing it.
Yeah.
So that's the last race of the year.
I'm gonna. Yeah. I think Haley will quite literally kick my ass if I try to race anymore.
Well, and you got a wedding to worry about.
We got a wedding.
Yeah.
So we're she got all the winnings from this weekend already. I already handed them to her. So,
really?
Yeah. But it's good. It's good. We'll get married and kind of hit it hard next year again, I think. So
okay.
See what happens. Nice. So we got some stuff coming together for the late model, and hopefully we race that a couple more times. Maybe I'm not going to say the stock car's on the back burner, but maybe not going to stress about it as much, or like I did this year, So,
okay.
Maybe kind of put some other irons in the fire and see what we can do.
Yeah, now looking forward to that wedding, by the way, because I'm gonna be
the
DJ. Looking forward to that. So spinning some records.
It'll be a good time.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be a good time. My Wish It crew's coming.
Okay.
You ever met the Wish It crew?
I mean, I've met Andrew Jokum, but I mean.
Oh yeah.
I as the DJ, I have to remain mostly sober.
I mean, for the beginning part, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, towards the end.
We'll see how the night goes. I mean, I'm going to have a few drinks. I mean, I need to...
Have some rhubarb red eye.
Especially if there's going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun, like, be a lot of rhubarb red eye. What is?
Oh, it's life changing.
Is that a drink?
Yep. Yeah, it's like Everclear. I think it's like rhubarb and Everclear.
Did I have that at the Howie Shill?
You might have.
Someone had,
no, that was moonshine.
That was the moonshine.
Yeah,
okay, that was
moonshine.
really good. Whatever that was really good.
That was really good.
Yep.
This stuff, like, it will tip you over, and you'll never even know that you're drinking alcohol.
It's got rhubarb in it?
Yeah.
I love rhubarb.
It's like real rhubarb.
Oh, I love rhubarb.
It's fantastic.
Now I'm looking forward to that.
It'll be a good time. Yeah, the Wishick crew's coming, so those guys are always a good time. So it's Andrew's family.
Okay.
And that family, like, they are true through and through racing family. Like, they do everything together. Like, they are a blast to be around. So
now I'm thinking I might need to camp there that night.
you might want to think about it.
Okay.
Might want to think about it.
All right. Not for our Pit Pass audience. We're just talking about life in real time here. Okay, done for the year. Racing's over.
Yep.
Cars in the garage.
Yep.
Which I would prioritize over the regular car. The race cars in the shop.
Absolutely.
In pretty good shape. We've talked about, shocks if you're cold, they're cold, bring them in, throw some junk shocks on if they're going to store outside or whatever.
Yep.
Or take them off. What's the first thing you're doing here as you're preparing to get this thing ready here to be stored for the winter or whatnot before you get in the teardown mode or whatever? I mean, whether it's with the car or with something with racing in general, now that racing's done, what's kind of the first thing that you're going to do?
Definitely number one, make sure that you have, if it's going to stay outside at all, cause it's going to start freezing at night.
Yep.
Make sure that you have antifreeze in it, or make sure it's empty. I've done that a couple times where I've had some scares where it's like, holy crap, I didn't dump my radiator and I'm hauling beats and it's frost. Like, we're getting shut down for frost right now.
Yep.
So make sure that there is water or antifreeze in it. The next thing, send your carburetor in. Just send it in, get it rebuilt, find someone to rebuild it. That's very important. Shocks, send your shocks to someone. Have someone rebuild your shocks and keep them inside, because if you're cold, they're cold.
Well, it's a good time. I mean, to do it like right away.
Yep.
In the beginning of the off season, the race shops are probably, or the speed shops are probably not super busy.
No,
right?
No, and especially everyone waits till the last minute.
Yep.
So if you think that you're gonna send your shocks in February and get them back, good luck.
Yeah.
Carburetor shops, they'll get the same way. So, like, right now, this time of year, like, that's probably one of the first things I'll do here is I'm going to send my carburetor in. I'm going to pull my shocks off. I'm going to have them gone through. If you have any good tires, now is a good time. Put them in the basement.
Okay.
They'll be good for next year. If you're really worried about them, you can shrink wrap them.
Yep.
Just kind of keep some of the oil in it. So that's a good thing. Put them in your basement. You'll probably not kick them over. They're probably not going to be in your way, but they won't freeze. So that's one thing, and count how many races you have on your motor and stuff. A lot of people kind of forget about that, and it's always cheaper to refresh them than it is to rebuild them after you blow them up.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, now, like, this thing is going to go back to Derek, Turner Performance Engines. He's going to rebuild this thing. I've got about 40 nights on it. So, you probably could go another 20. Probably could get another season out of it, but
you had a few hard nights on it.
We've worked her a little bit, like Clay County. That shout out again to him. This thing lived on the chip, and I'm not proud of it, but it made it. It lived. It was hot.
Yeah.
This thing was running hot, so I know that I've had a couple of them. One thing to keep in mind, if you do get your motor hot, your springs and your piston rings, they're all built with little tension, tensile strength. Well, when you get them hot, you lose that. So you're not gonna make as much power as you should be. Stuff isn't gonna seal as good. You're gonna start getting dirt in your oil, and that's gonna start wiping out your bearings. So yeah, if that thing's running warm, really think about it, because usually a refresh you can get away with just rings, bearings. Put valve springs in it, maybe put a set of valves in. Like my stuff, I use hollow stem valves. Well, they're a better valve, but they don't have the life that like a standard stainless steel valve has.
Okay.
So and especially this thing running warm and it being on the chip as much as it has, it will get new valves. I'll put new springs in it. Kind of do that. It's always cheaper to do that than it is to grenade one.
And I suppose you can also just, while it's in the shop here, whatever, you could probably just take the valve covers off. There's probably some things you can do to just see.
Yep. Back your valves off.
Yep. Is there any stress? Check pull a few things. Just, is there any stress on this motor? Yep. Things like that. You can run some compression, I suppose, compression test. Just look everything over and like, okay, if I had doubts before, if I wasn't sure, okay, well, now I know this thing's got great compression, everything's good.
Yeah.
Or, this one's down. It's still, okay, all right, rebuild it, pull it, whatever.
Pull it out, yeah. One good thing, if you're not gonna, back your valves off. Just kind of roll them over until both the rockers have play in them, and then just back your nut off. So when the motor's sitting, there's no tension on the valve springs. So that's always a really good thing. That's always a really good practice, and fog them. Keep some oil in there. That's never a bad thing. Dump the water out of them. Look at your trannies. Like we run Berts and Falcons. Usually pretty bulletproof. Yep. Like you really like. I've nenever had to rebuild one. Like I ran one in my other car and I got a new one when I put this one in. But that other one, I mean, I probably have 150 nights on it. 180 nights on it, and I change oil every 4 nights, and the thing works like it's brand new. So I usually don't get worried about that. One thing I'm going to do this year is I'm going to rebuild my set of gears, because I've ran this set of gears since, let me look on my wall of Fokker here. 2019. That was the first year I had a stock car, and I've ran the same set of gears and never replaced them. So it's going to get a new set of gears just so
then you have a backup.
Just for my peace of mind. Yep. It'll get refreshed and get some new bearings in there and get a new ring and pinion. And so we're going to do that. But race gas, I don't worry about it. I leave the gas in the cell.
Okay.
Race gas has a shelf life of like 3 years. Yep. So it ain't going to go bad.
Yep.
So I'd rather just have it sit in that and kind of keep everything lubricated. And so yeah, probably look at that. And I'm going to freshen the motor, send the carb in, just do that. Send them to Willie's. Send them to, I use Willie's.
Yep.
JDR, Fred Herring, he's a local guy in Fargo. He's got Fred's Garage. He's starting to kind of take over some of the Rick Carlson carburetors and carb work and stuff like that. So do that. I'm going to have him go through my distributor. Just kind of give everything a once over.
Yeah.
Maintenance is always cheaper than replacing new.
See what you need so that when you get ready to, maybe you're going to take a couple months off from anything with the race car, but make a list. Maybe it's time to start, figure out what I need to replace, and then you can make it maybe a little easier to get the game plan going come February or whenever you start to rebuild or start to get the car ready. And
I try to just kind of keep going on it, because then it's always cheaper. Like, okay, this month I'm going to send my shocks in.
Yeah.
This month I'm going to do my carb. Like this month, I'm going to take 2 months and try to save up enough to freshen my engine.
Yeah.
I kind of just keep picking away at it. So then, it's not like, holy crap, it's March and I have to buy all of this stuff all at once and do it all at the same time, plus rebuild or, freshen up some things in my car. So, I try to just keep going. I found it's actually cheaper for me, or I can afford it easier if I just kind of pluck away at it.
One thing I would recommend is over the winter, get a job bartending or something of the nature.
Yeah.
So you can afford to buy tires next season.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, we've all heard about the tire prices, things like that, and I'm sure especially, right? Tires are expensive and they're going up, right?
Yep. Hopefully tires don't go up this year.
Okay.
They shouldn't this
year. Well, they went up during the year.
With soda tires will. IMCA tires went up July 1st, but I haven't heard nothing.
Okay, yeah. They went up but either way,
yeah.
Get yourself a, little part-time job and throw some money away. Even if you don't need it personally, then at least you have a race fund.
Yes.
Like, okay, all my money I make from here or whatever goes right into a pot, and there's I can use that to buy. Maybe you buy something nice for the race car too.
Yep.
Maybe you buy a new race helmet or
buy a helmet or buy a seat or
buy splurge.
Comfortable.
What's treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, you got to treat yourself a little bit so you get some fancy new, or maybe you do a full wrap next year or something. Who knows? But
one thing that I've kind of done, and I've done it like since I was a kid, like especially in the off season, I'll just like if you can afford it, and like some months you can't, some months you do, but like I'll just put, and you could do it however. I just put like $100 on my account at the store.
Okay.
Just you save yourself $100 bill and just put it in a bucket. Do whatever, but like just $100, like every 2 weeks.
Well, that's a good idea too, because you come in the store, throw $100 in your account, then you could talk to you.
Yes.
You could find out who's
Bright,
doing
shining
what.
faces.
You could hear the
Usually
gossip.
we have races on, so you can get your fix there.
Yep. You talk about what's going on in the racing world. You could find out that the other guy has got 2 Honda Civics with Spooner engines. And I was trying to think of the quote from Fast
Dang
and
it,
the Furious.
Hector.
Yeah, Hector. He's got 3 VTECs or whatever, 2 JZs with spoon engines, and 3 turbos, and a full exhaust,
and a full Borla exhaust.
Yeah.
No,
So.
I do that, and like I said, you can do it however. You can put it on your account at the store. You can save it up in a coffee can at home. But like I've done that, and it just kind of, if you can afford to, because otherwise you'll waste it. You'll go to the bar, you'll do something.
Pull tabs.
Don't go to the bar and play pull tabs.
It's not a great investment.
Just buy a tire.
Best case scenario, you break even on pull tabs.
Yeah. Especially if you start playing the jar.
Yeah.
Nah. So like I do that, and it usually helps break, like, springtime, like, okay, I want to put new bearings in, or I want to put new brake pads in. Well, I kind of like build myself a little slush fund.
Yep.
So then, like, hey, I can do this, and I don't have to take any money out of my life to do it.
Or if you win $200 on pull tabs, put it in your race fund, or put the $100 that whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's I've done that from time to time.
Don't
right?
count the $250 that you put in. But you can use like a little girl math in it. Like,
exactly.
Like, I won $200 in cash. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. I saved so much money on this. It's on sale.
I bought 3 shirts, kept 1 and returned 2 of them, so I made $40. Like,
I always thought the interesting was like, oh, it was on sale. I saved all this money. I'm like, you didn't need to buy that. You were never going to buy that. You didn't save any money.
No.
You spent money.
You just maybe spent a little less than you would have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I try to do that. Like I said, like, anyone who races, like, your life kind of depends on, like, your life kind of revolves around it. So like I try to make good choices. Like I'm not gonna maybe I'm lame, maybe I'm whatever, but I ain't gonna go to the bar every weekend or every night. Like I'm gonna save. I'm gonna work on my race car. I'm gonna, this is what I do, I guess. So, if I'm gonna race, I'm gonna race. Like I don't half-ass it.
It's cheaper to drink beer in your garage and look at the race, work on the race car.
Yes, it is. Yep, and you'll get a lot more accomplished, and you'll just have fun. You'll have fun doing it.
If you do just a little bit,
it doesn't have to be much.
you wipe it down.
Pack wheel bearings one night. Like pull your ball joints apart and spin them in a drill. Like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. Like, they're straight.
Better have a crack of beer.
Yep, I'll clean them up and put them together some other night. But I try to just keep plucking on it so I can just pick it apart and just kind of, and then it's not work. And it's not like, oh God, I got to get this thing done because I race in a week. Like, I just try to keep her kind of going, and then, and then usually springtime comes around and all the expensive stuff is kind of done, and you can recover a little bit. And
you only got about 6-7 months until about 7 months. You got about 7 months until season opener locally, anyways. So
we'll have to get Pit Pass the Pit Pass podcast. We gotta get them some sponsors.
Yep.
Then we can sponsor a trip to like Arizona or something.
Oh, yeah.
We could make it like a business trip. We gotta get that figured out. We'll have our manager look at that.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. I do have a trip for work coming up, and it was like in a state where I'm like, it's nice out. I'm like, it was right around Speed Weeks, and I'm like in Daytona.
Oh,
and I'm like, they got any tracks near where I'm at? They don't where I'm at. Actually, there's not. But
dang it.
I've looked at it. I'm like, maybe get a rental car. And
one vacation I'm looking forward to. Haley and I are going to Aruba.
Aruba. Very nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be our honeymoon. And I looked. They don't have any racetracks. They got flamingos, but they don't have any racetracks.
I like how like you and I are the same. Like if I'm going somewhere new, I'm like, do they have a racetrack nearby? Can I go to watch a race?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So
gotta do that.
Dang it.
Yeah, well.
But Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we got enough here for this episode. We'll leave off here. We'll hopefully after beat season is done here, and we'll have more to talk about, and we can get maybe get some guests going again.
Yeah.
And get more in the tech side. We'll get more in the gear side of things, and
try to bring on like an engine builder or someone.
We gotta bring on Mr. Turner.
Yeah, we can bring on. I'll keep on him. I'll keep on Mr. Turner,
because it'd be a good time to start talking about
some
engine stuff.
Yep.
Some good topical stuff, and
he'd have some better stuff, as far as what maintenance and stuff like that for the off season. So
yeah, we'll have to do a Dirt on the Dome special episode to recap it, I suppose, and we'll have to do that one from a fish house. I think maybe do that on a lake or something.
Oh, we should
over ice fishing or something.
Yeah, we should.
Okay,
unless we catch an eel pout, and that won't be good because I'll be squealing in the background.
You're not a big eel
Cut
pout.
the line,
you girl. I love eel pout.
Yuck.
You have done a shot out of an eel pout?
No, what is? Who hurt you? And with that, this is the Pit Pass Podcast.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kalvin. Thanks, you guys, for listening. We'll be back here and hopefully not too long.